Hey, this is Trey Predator, and I'm here doing my Let's Play for my Game Culture class. I'm going to talk about what I think of the highly anticipated Star Wars Battlefront beta. First off, I just want to say this game is very fun and feels authentic to the original Star Wars trilogy. Everything down to the look and feel of the weapons to the music and sounds of the traditional Star Wars battles are on point. Even though the beta does not include an original Battlefront Conquest type mode, there is a 40 vs 40 player mode where the rebels try and destroy 2 Imperial AT-AT walkers. The beta also offers a taste of some co-op survival mode, which would be more fun if it could go past Wave 6 in the beta. There is also a capture and objective game mode, which is very fast-paced and close quarter based. Even though it is fun, I still prefer a large-scale battle that the Battlefront series is known for. Even though the AT-AT Escort game mode is the only large-scale mode in the beta, it gets a bit repetitive at times due to it feeling extremely unbalanced. This mode favors the Imperial forces by giving that team access to vehicles such as AT-ST walkers, as well as being able to shoot from the scripted AT-AT walker path. Not to mention, it's also easier to defend the walkers than it is to take them down. Even though the player cannot drive the AT-AT walker like in the original Battlefront games, it still feels so empowering shooting from it. You are unstoppable. That's why the player is given 60 seconds to be at the helm of the AT-AT guns, but with each kill the player gets, it adds a few more precious seconds to the clock, giving them more time to kill off the already struggling rebel forces. With all the challenges the rebel team must withstand, it is almost impossible to win as the rebels. In order to win, you must destroy both AT-AT walkers, and to do that, they must activate and defend links that will shut down the walker shield so the rebels can then damage it with their blasters. The rebels get no vehicles, only some turrets that the Imperial forces can also use, not to mention it only takes a few shots to destroy them. Out of the dozen or more games I have played in this mode, I have never seen the rebel forces emerge victoriously. Even with teamwork and communication with a few skilled friends, my team and I came close one match, but we were still unable to fully destroy both walkers before they could blow up our base. Even though the rebel team always loses, it's still fun to have a large-scale battle that feels so true to the Star Wars universe. However, I would be surprised if the developers did not make any revisions to this game mode before the final release. Simple changes such as giving the rebels some sort of fast transportation such as tauntauns to move between the two objectives more quickly, or even lessening the health of each AT-AT walker would make the mode a bit more balancing. I've had teams where we were almost had it down, everyone was shooting the shields, but it still wasn't enough to take down both AT-ATs before it reached our base. Even though the game mode strongly favors the Imperial forces, it is still an awesome in the aspect of large-scale, authentic Star Wars warfare. I was pleasantly surprised to find out this game was more than just a battlefield game with Star Wars aspects and themes. EA DICE really did their homework on the Star Wars franchise and what the original Battlefront games did so well. Everything down to the unique sounds and effects of each Star Wars vehicle and weapon sounds just like it did in the original movies. It immediately immersed me into the Star Wars universe that I loved growing up. Even though this game does not feel like the original Battlefront games, this reboot feels like a true Star Wars game mixed with modern-day PvP aspects into the traditional gameplay of the original Battlefront games. Players can also customize their loadouts and characters in this reboot, instead of having to pick from pre-made classes the first Battlefront games required. EA DICE tried to give every player of all skill levels the chance to drive vehicles, play as heroes, and gain power-ups. This attempt is balanced by revolving all these assets on random power drops, which are scattered across the battlefield. The vehicle pickups reveal a symbol of the vehicle that it gives the players access to upon pickup, and the regular power-ups, which give players a range of turrets, shields, and rocket launchers, are all hidden behind a generic pickup symbol. The hardest and most random pickup is the hero one, but it allows not only the skilled players the chance to play as Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. Even though this mechanic is not completely fair, because experienced players learn where the vehicle pickups will spawn after a few rounds, it still gives players of all skill ranges a chance to have fun and wreak havoc in the game. However, sometimes the hero pickup is too random. I have yet to have the chance to play as any iconic character from Star Wars. You just have to be in the right place at the right time. Even though this is just the beta that offers limited content, I was still amazed on how well EA DICE nailed the Star Wars theme and the feel that so many loved. With more maps and more balance in game modes, I can see this game properly rebooting the beloved Battlefront series. Before this beta, I was unsure of what to expect from this game, but now that I've gotten a taste of it, I can say I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it, and I'm anxious looking forward to the release of the game next month.